I think this looks pretty nice. I'm into this. This is heavy. This is so heavy with the copper. So this is the Keycult number 1 1800. So that's a really nice purple. I think this is the mid piece, like the little accent in between. And the weight system here, that's pretty. Is this copper? Wait, I didn't know Mike was sending me this. This is still the best Keycult, in my humble opinion. Number 1, absolutely the best. I like the white feet on this. That's a nice touch too. E-coat, copper weight. This is heavy, dude. Ooh. I don't know if I want to use this purple piece now. Ooh. This is not a TKL. This is a 1800. We got a numpad on this bad boy. This is nice, actually. Shit, this is really nice. What is the cost of this with the copper? This is going to be expensive? Probably. This is a big chunk. Like, so imagine the copper. I'm not going to take it apart right this instant, but imagine the copper piece being literally all this. Like, this is a pretty fair chunk of copper. So if we're looking for, this, with the copper, it's going to be hella expensive. And again, Keycults are already really expensive. It's in Novelty's product news, but it looks like if I do the math quickly, well, this is the most expensive version I think I have in my hand. Yeah, this is like a $750 version. And then if you were to get a normal version without the big chunk of brass or copper, which I think more people will do, which is, if you guys don't know, this is pretty standard Keycults. Keycults never really came with a big brass or copper piece. So yeah, otherwise it'll be a $500 board. But yeah, if you want the big brass option, it's a big premium. Price-wise, you guys can make the decision there. Keycults have always been this expensive. It's not really, these are licensed products that, you know, Novelties has to adhere by. So this isn't like Novelties took over Keycult, FYI. So just so you guys have a better understanding there. We'll get the scale too, we'll get the scale. Oh, I think there's already gaskets in this. I think they've already installed the gaskets here for us today. So I don't think we have to do this, but they're here in case someone wants to see them. Again, expensive unit. So if you're a Keycult fan though, it makes sense. If not, there are plenty of great options in which you can pick up that won't be the price of this Keycult. Does the price make sense? I mean, it follows in line with what Keycults normally are. We've talked about this even in the last Keycult build that we've done. It does make sense if you're following the price point of Keycults. These are licensed products. It's not, again, Novelties is the one handling everything, including production, fulfillment. The PCBs are now different. So Novelties is handling from step A to step Z. However, these are still licensed from Keycult. To kind of fill you in case you guys are kind of curious on this, like the big ideology of why Novelties wanted to carry these for a few reasons. The biggest reason though was they wanted to carry a product that a lot of people loved. They didn't want to see like the Keycult just kind of like fade away, because Keycult was going through some, maybe it still is. I really haven't been really keeping up with George and Zach, but they were going through their own problems of things. But yeah, this is an NK Keycult. It's licensed from Keycult, but Novelties has taken over everything, which is fantastic. Here's the bottom of this too. I think this looks sweet. That looks pretty sick nasty. PCB, the hot swap option actually has a bunch of options, which is nice to see. Oh wow, we even have some options for the numpad here. Split backspace, 2 different bottom rows. Happy to see that, very happy to see that. Although I think I'm gonna build this very standard. This is with copper, but there is a full aluminum version you guys can go with. So it seems like the pricing is between $500 to $750-ish. Maybe a little bit more. Again, I'm kind of just basing it off of rough math really quick. But you know, E-white and copper does look pretty nice. There's silver, black, and navy. Oh, dude, you know what the other thing I gotta say this too? I'm so happy to see some normal colors. As much as I liked the other Keycult releases, I thought the colors were way too difficult to pair with. So happy to finally see normal colors. And then there's also going to be some different mid pieces, like the lilac one that you guys just saw, which is really pretty. Red, teal, brass, and copper. So you could go with some fun accents and weights there. And then you could mix and match. I don't know if actually it'll be possible, but I think you can mix and match bottoms as well. These are granite switches. These are the new Type Plus ones. These are the pre-lubricated ones. I'm going to use these on the aluminum today because I actually really like these comboed with aluminum. This is a copper bottom, but there will be brass and there will also just be regular anodized pieces as well. Again, my experience with Keycult number 1s, you usually don't need the copper. In fact, I feel like with most of the Keycult number 1s, I actually prefer, because I used to have a stainless one. I actually preferred the aluminum one, but we're going to try the copper today. Do I need to take off the bot? I do need to take off this. Ooh, that is a giant chunk of copper. Does this have the genuine KC build experience? This one? No, this is a bit more refined. I feel like this actually is not a bad experience at all. This is like pretty good, but I don't know if the cable will be a pain in the ass like most Keycults. This is my first time building an 1800, so. Alrighty, so that's installed. Interesting what they did with this kind of floats in place over there. And then as per usual with Keycult stuff, I don't bother with any of those little alignment pegs. I think they're dumb. All right, Keycaps. This would slap, and I think this gives it some nice contrast too, no? I'm pretty sure. You guys like it? Did it turn out nice? I think this looks pretty nice. I'm into this. This is heavy. This is so heavy with the copper. Very different sound signature than I was expecting with the copper bottom here. I actually really like this too. I do think I'd probably personally prefer the aluminum bottom on this, because I feel like it's missing some of the pop. This is a little brighter than I expected with the copper bottom. I really like the spacebar a lot. I don't think the spacebar needs to be louder here. You guys, if you guys want me to try a louder spacebar, I personally am super happy with the spacebar here. But we can try like a cherry switch, an MX2A, if you guys would like. But I'm really into the spacebar sound. Let me get an MX2A. Okay, personally, I kind of liked it more with the not as sharp spacebar here, oddly enough. I mean, this is a really good sounding board. Do you guys like the alphas on these? I'm actually really vibing with the alphas here. Yeah, the alphas sound really good on this board. I mean, the numpad sounds really full as well. Again, I also want to point out, I know for a fact these particular switches are a lot fuller sounding. They're not as bright sounding as most other switches, but I feel like these switches are doing a lot to complement the alphas here. Yeah, they're full travel. And then we're using the cherry switch for the spacebar. I kind of almost personally, again, personal preference, you guys can pick whatever you guys like at the end of the day. I almost kind of liked this switch better. Let me just pick a different one just in case. The lower, more rounded sound profile for the spacebar here. I don't know why. I'm kind of enjoying both actually, now that I go back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying both. I think the cherry was a little too bright. But here, I'll put a cherry on one of the alphas as well so you guys can see. Here, H versus the K. So the granite switch versus the cherry. Cherry's on K, granite switch on H. Ready? You can tell the top out's different. The top out's very different on both of these switches. This almost has a more, not muted, I feel like that's a bad way to put this. The top out of the granite switches are a bit more calm. They're not as like sharp and aggressive. The cherry is a bit more aggressive. Even with the spacebar you guys saw earlier, it's less aggressive, has a softer top out. Yeah, it's more subtle is a good word, actually. It's a perfect word. I do have a Nixie to compare. It's interesting. The Nixie's along the same sound profile as the other Milky top switch. I think they both sound really good, so I don't know, man. I think so far we're kind of 3 for 3 on this. I think all 3 of them sounded fine in my opinion. All right, well, I'm overall very happy. Enjoy, guys. Take care, and I love you all. Bye-bye.